coming today to visit the legendary artist Colette from House of Olympia. I want to quote from Peter Seltz, who helped curate at the Whitney Museum an exhibition of Colette. Colette has been a visionary presence at the New York art scene since the early 1970s. Her work is complex and encompasses many concepts that stretch our notion of art. She explores the role the artist plays in our life, the female persona in art, and the line between fine and commercial art and fashion. Many of her ideas are echoed today in the art world, as well as throughout popular culture. So we know that Colette is very cool and very outstanding. This is her entrance into her House of Olympia. And we're coming up here to surprise her, sort of, and check out what kind of art that she does. So she's influenced lots of artists, and we're excited to be here. And that's the card. This is the one, House of Olympia.
Who is it?
Hey, it's Rick coming from thisisart.com.
Oh my God. Oh, Rick.
Yeah.
I forgot you were coming. I was just going to call you and see if you knew where I'm trying to pack.
Oh, great.
Well, come on in.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the
I
time.
wasn't sure you were coming.
Oh, great. Wow.
Anyway,
How
here
are
we
you?
are.
Wow. Which one is you?
Which one? Oh, well, for the moment, I'm Olympia. You forgot.
Great.
And this
Hi.
is the House of Olympia.
Wow. We're pleased to be here.
Well, right at the moment, I would like to comb my hair for a minute before we get started. But
Okay.
I want to welcome you to the House of Olympia. And at the moment, I'm in the middle of packing to go to Munich, packing my works for my 6th exhibition at the Carol Johnson Gallery. And then I will be visiting my salon in Berlin.
Great. Wow. How exciting.
Do you want to shoot around and take a look at everything, and I'll be right back?
Okay, great. Okay, wow. Look at, you can see Colette's place is filled. It's a piece of art all on its own. Look at this. I think we'll have to ask her what these things are. Look at this.
Well, it'll take too long to get my stuff together.
Oh,
so I'll give you
wonderful.
the tour right now.
Okay, great.
So, here we are. First rule, the House of Olympia
Right?
began in 1990.
Right.
It was one of my latest persona. You know, I take on different personas and I
Right.
live them. And this is sort of the House of Olympia, sort of a Noah's Ark for my life's career. And it has certain rules. And the first rule is no money, no art. We live in an age where artists are
great.
supported and have patrons, and has been forgotten in this day and age. Everybody's just thinking how to make money, and they forget how important art is. So this is a reminder. And one of the other rules, I forgot how they go exactly, but one of the other rules is retrieving my history, which I will show you later. Bringing back chivalry and good manners, which we have also forgotten. And I think men love to be gentlemen, and women love to have their doors open and their cigarettes lit. Okay, the revival of Coletticizing, the 18th century. Especially in the early stages of the House of Olympia, we take images from Boucher, Fragonard. This is a Fragonard, and I would Coletticize them, transform them in my style, because this is a time where chivalry and good manners were very strong. This is another Coletticized painting from the 18th century, from a museum in Munich.
Did you take it right out of the museum? Or is
Yes,
this
I took it right off the wall and brought it home.
That was a good idea.
And I got away with it.
It's better for it, too.
Yes, don't you think?
Yeah.
I also transformed this wood too. I cut it off
Right.
up in little pieces.
Right.
And this is a little fragment. But the reasons I chose these images is here you have men and women looking at art and unpacking art, and you could see the loving care in it. And you get the feeling this is not just about money. It's about loving art, loving beauty, loving the ritual in life. Dressing up was also one of the rules, the return of the gown. And at that time I wore a lot of gowns. And now I'm sort of stepping out of the House of Olympia. Okay, and then...
What's the phone from?
Oh, the phone was
Phone
the
looks a
phone
little
I
large.
first exhibited in Berlin a couple of years ago, which I will exhibit again. And there's several phones. And you want to listen to it?
Sure.
Okay, so...
You mean I could make a call?
Yeah, make a phone call. This is from a videotape called Hold On, I'm On My Way, and it's about the terror of a telephone call. You know, when you trying to get hold of the police or the fire department, or you're waiting for a boyfriend to come. This is a love song in the end, and it's also an emergency song. Hold On, I'm On My Way. I wrote it with a friend of mine in
That's
Germany,
hilarious.
Jacob Angel.
Great.
So, and we have a CD and a video from this. This is also the telephone here. There it goes. In my Berlin salon where the video was shot, the music video was shot.
Oh, there
It's
you
a
are.
video still, and here I am with the telephone.
Great.
And this is the romantic version of the tape, and then there's the more panic version when you're waiting for an emergency.
Right.
Um,
Colette, what are the eggs in the little dolls?
Oh, this is very, I don't want to take hours. Well,
Okay.
this is one, well, I'll explain quickly.
All right.
This is from one of the series I've done at the beginning of the House of Olympia when I destroyed it.
Okay.
It was called The Ruins and Rise, and this was one of the little ruins from the objects of the
Okay.
House of Olympia,
Oh, wow.
like an artifact. These come from a different period, where I was a space-age character, Justine, and also the head, you know, I died as Colette.
Right.
And I became the head of a corporation, the Colette is Dead Company, and the head of the Beautiful Dreamer products. And I created a living doll, which I was known for being, and I created these whooshed costumes that came from the environments. And this is one of the images of this living doll. Justine was
Beautiful.
actually quite active,
Right.
as she was the head of her estate and the head of the company and made products, was a rock star,
Right.
interior decorator, fashion designer. And she was very influenced by Colette's image,
Right.
because Colette's image had already gone in the commercial world, and so therefore Colette died at an early age and wanted to take over,
Right.
and became Justine to do that.
Okay.
You know, the whole idea of the artist.
It was like a band in the 70s, right? Or Justine.
You probably heard about the bands. I did many bands in the
Right.
70s, and one of them was called Justine and the Victorian Punks, and I made
Right.
recordings.
Right.
Because as a female artist at that time, people had an idea that, well, first of all, women had a hard time in general in the art world, but specifically at that time, a women's aesthetic was not really accepted as art. You know, women were supposed to do art like men, you know, like Richard Serra.
Right.
And I was already, well, I had a very feminine approach. For me, that was a very natural one and liberated one.
Right.
Because I was doing what I felt was natural to me and my essence, and close to my essence, but it was not taken seriously at that time or understood. You know, even though I was well known, I don't think it was quite understood.
Right. Well, you influenced thousands of women, haven't you?
Well, that's what they say. I've influenced men too, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, fabrics has been a big part of the work.
Right.
Anyway, for example, this was like
what's
the
that?
living environments. You know, I try to bring art to the public. So I made these incredible rooms in window shops where people, even though might not understand art, they would have direct access to it. And you could see an environment. This was actually me at home as a living doll in the late 70s.
Wow, beautiful.
This was also
you
typical.
didn't let the walls confine you.
No, I didn't. And this was a typical environment. I would create these also in museums and galleries, and I would take on a different persona and transform myself according to the theme of the room.
Great.